Hey guys, it's the Infamous here. Before we jump into tonight's episode, I gotta tell you about our sponsor, Audible. Audible gives you access to hundreds of thousands of audiobooks that you can listen to wherever it's convenient for you. Use our link, audibletrial.com/infamous, and not only do you get a free 30-day trial of the service, but you also get a free audiobook compliments of the show. So head to audibletrial.com/infamous, get yourself a book, and get some money back into the show. Enjoy tonight's episode.
Okay, hi. You're listening to Infamous Chronicles. Yeah. Love you, Dad.
All right, welcome to this week's episode of the Infamous Chronicles. This is our Mother's Day special. Tonight we're going to be talking about how our moms have impacted our lives, tell some dirty mama jokes, and just kind of touch base with where we're at for Mother's Day. Your roster tonight is going to include myself, the Infamous, Jester, Casey Moran, and Gino. Again, this is our Mother's Day special. This is the Infamous Chronicles. Here we go.
Turn down for what?
Do you even know what's going on?
This is the Infamous Chronicles.
The Infamous Chronicles.
Featuring the infamous
Aggie Rocks,
Casey Moran,
Firefox,
P-Sack,
The Jester,
Scotty G,
and Gino.
Wait, what are we doing?
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
The Infamous Chronicles starts right now.
All right, welcome to tonight's episode. We just finished a guest spot over on Maternal Instincts. If you haven't heard that show, that's our new mom podcast, an Imperfect Moms for Imperfect Moms show. And we did a little bit of this on there, and we were excited to talk about it. 4 gentlemen here, kind of sharing stories about their moms, the pros, the cons, the most fucked up things they ever did, some good mama jokes. So let's break the ice with this. Let's see, right off the bat, no thinking about it, who has the better mom joke, Jester or Casey? I'm going to give it to Casey out of seniority. You get to go first. Let's hear your best mom joke.
I just said it. Okay, wait. Your mom is so fat when she sits around the house, she sits around the house.
All right. Okay. Jester, your best mom joke.
Your mom is so fat, her ass looks like an upside down McDonald's sign.
Fuck.
All right. Gino, which one do you pick as the winner?
God damn. I feel like
It's all about the delivery, too, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna pick Casey.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jester.
Yeah.
I didn't like the monocle. So anyway, so that leads me to your roster tonight. I mentioned it earlier. Casey Moran of the Discussing Depression show.
Good to be here. Fat people do eat at McDonald's, so I got the joke, man.
Jester.
What up, man?
And then Gino.
How's it going?
Who, by the way, is now part of the intro. You are a full-time roster member.
Let's do it.
So welcome to the big leagues.
Oh, I'm so
Very
excited
exciting.
to be here. So excited.
So tonight, we just celebrated Mother's Day. I'm sure we all had very different things. So let's start with this. Right off the top of your head, what is the worst fucking thing growing up? The first thing that comes to your mind, no thinking about it, that your mom ever did to you growing up. The worst thing, first thing on your mind. What is it?
I would have to say when she walked out stark naked.
Oh, damn.
That was an image that was embedded in my head, man.
How old were you?
I think I was 6 or 7.
Okay.
You know, she walked out and she had really pink nipples and
Jesus Christ.
Bush.
Much.
And a bush. And I was like, oh, fuck, man. Maybe that's why I don't like white girls that much.
Thanks a lot. Mrs.
You were young enough.
Mom Jester ruined it for all the white girls and see me.
Yeah, maybe.
Casey, worst thing your mom ever did, right off the top of your head?
My mom's amazing, so I'll preface it by saying that. But one thing that she did to me and my brother, and I don't know how this got brought up. I guess we had neighbors that one of them was a cop, but she had told us when we were kids that she used to be a cop. So I was telling everybody, like, my mom was a cop. My mom was a girl cop. It's awesome. And then, when we were, older, she had been like, okay, I lied to you guys. I wasn't really a cop. I said that. I was telling everyone, dude.
Oh, shit.
That fucking sucked.
All right, Gino, worst thing your mom ever did to you?
Well, when I was a kid, we always watched American Idol. and she grounded me from watching like the season finale, and that was our thing.
When you were a kid.
Okay.
You know, because he's really young. Yeah, 2001 was when it was out.
Oh, shit, so, man, my bad.
Let's talk about maybe...
okay.
Go ahead, talk about American Idol, right? Let's go,
it was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Let's go, Randy.
Big family ordeal. We always, gather on the couches, watch the episode, get into it. Finals come on, we're all excited to see it. And, I was grounded, couldn't watch it. I sang her a song. I was like, me and my brother, we made up this shitty ass song. Just, we're so sorry. Just let us watch it. Nothing. So
who won the finals?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Who was it that year, though? Who were you rooting for?
I think
Fantasia Barrimo.
I think it was the year with, Chris Daughtry.
Oh my God.
That was a good year.
Carrie Underwood year, wasn't that? Was that Carrie Underwood year?
Was it?
No, Carrie Underwood was 04.
But I think she's the one that beat Daughtry.
I thought so.
Could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know the exact.
Listeners, call in.
Yeah.
All right, my worst mom experience was I was 19. No, that's not true. I was 20, right before I went to the army. And so my mom did this thing. Every night, she'd go in the backyard, read a book, right? And when the light turned off, it meant book reading time was over. Mom was going to bed, right? My window faced the back porch. I saw when the light turned on and off. Light turned off. I was destroying this chick I was dating. She was pinned up against the wall, hands against the wall. I was doggy style, ruining that. No joke.
You were doggy style?
No, she was doggy style. I was ruining it.
Oh, okay.
No joke. Door behind me. I hear all of a sudden, kaboom! Fucking door gets kicked open so hard that the door handle leaves a dent in the wall, and it's my mom. And she's like, you should have some fucking respect while you're living in my house. This girl, no joke, did not come back over for a month.
But did she come, though?
No. She went home, like, crying. Immediately after. She's like...
Pussy was wet and her eyes were wet. You know what I'm saying?
It was terrible. I don't know who was worse for, me or my mom. I'm sure it was worse for her than it was for me. That was my worst mom moment. So let's lead into something a little bit more serious. So, how has your mom most influentially impacted who you are right now as a person? I'm going to go reverse. Let's start with you, Gino. You're the youngest buck on the block.
All right.
Reverse.
Well, my aunt, who was my mom, really, she raised me and everything. She's just really taught me to be happy. Just, kind of like not really hold a grudge against people no matter what they've done. Just be a happy, loving, caring person. And that's really affected me this past year and a half of my life. And, we've actually grown a lot closer because of it.
Right on. Very cool.
So.
Casey, what about you? How's your mom most influenced who you are today?
My mom is a sweetheart, and so I think it just to be kind to people. I'm a jokester and I bust balls, but just to be kind and come from a place of this is such a negative world right now, and I think if you could just find the positive in life and try to be a positive impact and just be sweet and the nice guys finish last thing's a bullshit. Just be you, and if you are nice, just be you. And my mom always was gonna love me no matter who I was, if I was gay, if I was a dick, if I was black, she was going to love me. And
what's funny about the statement you just made, Casey? Not the black statement.
I was kidding.
You are literally living proof against the nice guys finish last philosophy. You're one of the nicest, most non-judgmental people I've ever met. And you are close to Augie to the point where everywhere I go with you, somebody knows you.
Yeah, I mean, Augie's a different level, but I think what it is my mom always taught me, and it's so cliche because it's not even cliche. It's just that it's just an old term, but it's treat others how you want to be treated, and whether you're popular by association or you're hanging out like we talked about on Maternal Instincts. I was kind of a bully in the sense that I just kind of hung out with people that weren't the nicest people, and we would throw things at people at lunch, and I felt bad about that, and I reached out to those people and they didn't even remember it. It was kind of like Billy Madison, I'm glad I called that guy. It was one of those things where I just needed to be that's not who I am, and I feel bad about those certain situations. So now I'm working in this mental health field and I'm doing all these other things. I'm working with kids where they were dealt a harder life and they're smiling. And I've been guilty of complaining about Wi-Fi code. So it's we have these first world problems, and my mom always taught me just treat others how you want to be treated, and it kind of all works its way out. And it's I believe that. I feel I don't think everything happens for a reason, but everything happens, and you show up every day with the best representation of yourself, and you just be as kind as you can. And even when you're feeling bad, be honest about who you are and what's going on, and don't let it build up. And, if you're in the wrong, apologize. It's a manly thing to apologize or feel emotional. Be honest with who you are and all that. So it's, my mom taught me that. My dad also, my brother and sister-in-law, my grandparents. I mean, I am very blessed and grateful for the family I have. So I think my mom just always taught me to be myself, but also, be thankful and grateful with what you have, and know that every time you go out, you're representing the family. And so it's like, I always remember that.
Great point. I love it. Jester, what about you? If you had to single out one single thing about your mom that influenced you most as who you are now, what would you say it was? Or is, excuse me.
I'd have to say putting your kids first. She always put me first. She wasn't selfish in that regard. She always went without to make sure that I went with. She constantly would not starve herself literally, but she would have the small meal. And she would give me the meal that I wanted just to make me happy. That's exactly, and not that I'm in that financial position like my mother was, but I do the same thing with my kids, man. If my kid wants mac and cheese, pizza, whatever the hell, and I don't have it in my fridge, I will go get it for her. And if I don't have the means to get me what I want, I'll have a 13-cent bag of top ramen and be cool with it because my kid's happy.
Right.
That's the one value that she taught me. And I'm going to live with that until my kid can support herself,
I would say the number one thing, if I had to look at one lesson that my mom took from me, it was that never compromise. Because growing up, I was diagnosed with ADD really young, and my brother was really socially kind of awkward as far as just being not depressed, but regressed into his room and his space. And so my mom I have a confident, as far back as I can remember, I have a confident sense of self and a confident sense of leadership and being kind to people and telling the truth at all times without compromise. And it's cost me a lot of relationships, both professionally and personally, but the ones that I'm left with still standing are so much more valuable, because it's look, if you don't want the truth from me, then you don't want my friendship. And I'm not here to condemn or anything like that, but one thing that my mom always taught me is don't be the person in the room that doesn't say the thing that needs to be said. And
don't be the one that leaves the white elephant in the room. Be the one that
it,
exposes
right? Because there's a fucking dozen other people that will leave it in the room. Yeah. So don't be one of those people. Yeah. And so
my mom always told me if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a very fine Christmas.
It's like sticks and stones too. Yeah, it's true. They don't, but they hurt someone.
Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's it's weird when you become an adult, what you remember, what your mom did. Of
course.
I have a lot of friends that their mom passed away, and that's the other thing is I'm very thankful my mom's still alive and healthy. And I think, I think I have a lot of friends, and
we have someone in our family that's mom's passed away.
It's hard because it's when you're a kid, your parents are your superheroes, you think they're never going to die. And then you just realize your dad was just an alcoholic with a cape,
Yeah.
That was a David Tell joke. And my dad's not an alcoholic at all.
And we're not anti-dads on this episode.
No.
It's just not the time and place.
Yeah. June, baby. We'll talk some Father's Day in June, baby.
So that leads me to my next question. Now, if you were giving a PSA on your mom, an interview on her that she was going to watch in the hospital or something, right? And you had to say something to your mom right now about who you are as a person, a thank you. This is your chance right now on air to thank your mom for what she's done for you. So I guess, let's say, not literally, but let's say you had a minute to say what you had to say to your mom. What would you say, Jester?
Well, I actually wrote this recently in a Mother's Day card, which happened to be, yesterday?
Yeah.
I told her that, there's so many words that I can put into this card that can express the way I feel, in all of my thanks towards you for what you've done to help me get through all of my hard times. And we're always there to support me and all. I said, I can put so many words in here, but the only two words that I can think of right now that sum it all up, and I hope this works for you, Mom, is just thank you. Because I'm so grateful, and my gratitude goes above and beyond for everything that you've ever done for me. And I don't take anything for granted, and I live in your footsteps. I just want to keep pushing on by your playbook, and I'm just very grateful. So thank you. That's all I said.
Great answer.
And she cried.
Yeah, nice.
Casey, you have roughly a minute to thank your mom. What do you have to say?
I got to follow the Hallmark hero.
I know, that was a good one. That was one of the nicest things I've ever heard you say.
I would say, Mom, thank you for being the most genuine and loving and caring person I know. Beautiful on the inside and out. And I think one thing I would tell her is that, thank you for showing me how to live the right way and to appreciate things and how to love and be yourself, but also be kind to others and genuinely kind, not a fake kind, and also how to be giving and be there for people when they need you, and even, checking in on people at all times, and how important friends and family are, and, how thankful that this meal is, and just showing all those little things that you take for granted maybe as a kid that as an adult you really start to appreciate. And, thank you for taking care of yourself. My mom had a problem with pain pills when I was a kid, and she's 20 plus years clean. And it's like she took care of herself so she could be there for my dad and for my brother and I. Very so it's cool. Like, thank you for all of that. And thank you for just, bringing me to this earth, because, without you, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be appreciating, everything that I have. So thank you.
Gino, for
me, I'd have to say thank you to my aunt as well, like everyone else. But, she took an ultimate sacrifice when she was roughly, maybe a year or two older than me, taking my brother and my sister in, so just I can't even explain how grateful I am for you, and thankful for everything you showed me, taught me, as just being who you are as a person. I just see that and I'm like, okay, that's what I need to be, or replicate. So again, just a different way of thanks.
Great answer. I would say probably to my mom that the one thing that I love currently most about my mom is how active and important she is to my daughter. And so I would just say to her, everything that you love about my daughter so much that makes you want to be around her, that's all you. Everything you love about her is us parenting through the example that you set. And most importantly, I mentioned earlier, being diagnosed early with ADD and getting bullied a lot as a kid. My mom, literally, this is not a bullshit J-exaggeration. This is a real thing. When I was super young, I can't remember the exact date, but let's call it maybe kindergarten, first grade at the oldest. I first went to the eye doctor. I had astigmatism. So my eyes were crossed and I couldn't get contacts yet. It wasn't even a thing yet. So what my mom did to make me cool, and I'm using air quotes right now, cool, she bought me glasses and painted an eye and skin on one lens for me so that I could go to school without being cross-eyed. And it looked fucking horrible, in pictures. But the fact that she went out of her way to try to do this thing and to make my life at school easier is just an example of who she was in my life. So Mom, I just want to say thank you for never flinching, and thank you for teaching me to never flinch. Although a lot of people don't like that about me, I love that about me, and I got that from you, and I hope that my daughter gets that from you. So thank you for everything that you did. On that note, sorry, did I interrupt you?
No.
Who did I interrupt? Did I interrupt you?
This fucking guy.
I was about to say something a little witty. I was going to say, look at my...
Well, hold on. Hold your witty comment.
Okay.
Let's take our first break real quick. Tonight's going to be a short episode.
Okay.
This is just to thank our moms. We're going to head right into our first sponsorship reel here real quick. We'll be right back on the Infamous Chronicles.
This is...
First, take a big step back.
The Infamous Chronicles.
And literally fuck your own face!
The Infamous Chronicles.
Hey fellas, do you need to get some flowers? I mean seriously, did you mess up with your lady? Forget something special? She's got something you gotta congratulate her on? You wanna just tell her how much you love her? Guys, seriously, all smart moves. What's not smart is not saving 15% on your flowers. Head over to our sponsor, bouquetinabox.com. They are grown here in California, all natural, delivered very promptly with this private message, and it will hook you up on the good side of your lady again. Use our promo code INFAMOUS, that's infamous, and you save 15% off your first order. It's so easy. Bouquetinabox.com. Use our promo code INFAMOUS, get yourself some brownie points, and save some money. Back to the show.
Now,
What did you say?
back to the Infamous Chronicles.
I said you look shitty.
And we are back. So, Jester, you were about to give us with a witty anecdote. Let's go ahead and
say,
hear it.
if my kid has to wear an eye patch or something that covers up one eye, I would just tell my kid to go to school and say, tell all the children that you're preparing for a role in Pirates of the Caribbean. And this is part of...
It's not that I disagree with you, but it's only until I got older that I even realized how fucking ridiculous the patch was. Like, when I was in the moment,
I know that.
It was the coolest thing ever. And then when I went into junior high, my mom got me quote-unquote color-changing glasses. And let's just say they never changed back. I'd go outside, they changed to orange. They were this fucking thick, like the thickness of an entire beer bottle, and then they never changed back to clear. So after lunch, my glasses were orange the rest of the day.
Maybe he just wanted to be Lisa Left Eye Lopez, you know what I'm saying?
Something like that, because they never worked right.
A really good battle rap line. Bitch, your glasses are so thick you should be the spokesmodel for Coke bottles.
Oh yeah.
That's totally me. I was that guy. Okay, so we've said a lot of nice things about her mom.
Oh no.
I'm gonna ask you to toe the line here.
I'm stepping away from this.
No, you gotta be involved. I'll go reverse. I'm gonna start with you, Gino.
All right.
Of course, reverse.
So what's the worst lesson and or example of parenting you can remember your mom, or in your case, your aunt, ever giving you? Like when she just lost her shit.
Oh, fuck. I don't even know. Jeez.
I could go first.
You go first. You think about it. You go first.
It's not advice. It's more like, I think one thing that I wish my mom didn't do, and she said this recently that she wishes she didn't. And part of it was my depression and stuff, but I think my mom babied me too much, and that didn't allow me to grow up.
Oh.
And listen, I mean, that's unconditional love and all that stuff, but sometimes, like you guys have talked about, like, you need to be stern. And my mom is the nicest person, so that would kind of be being fake, but there were times where she did baby me a little too much. And so that's not even a criticism more than it is just like an observation. And so it's like, I think if you baby your kid too much, sometimes they're just not going to, it's not understanding the value of $1, but it's just not going to understand like how hard the world is. You know, when I had to go on my own, I figured, oh shit, this is hard. But the lucky thing is I can always go back home. Mm-hmm. And I'm thankful for that. But the babying thing maybe didn't help me. But at the end of the day, I was born with these mental illnesses. So it's like that put me back a little further, at least in my own mental state.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not even a criticism. It's just like, she knows that was a problem. But at the end of the day, I don't know if she would change a whole lot because I was going through a lot of shit.
Plus, you wouldn't be you.
Yeah.
I would love that about you.
Titties.
Jester, what about you? Like,
let's go to Gino. I'm still thinking.
Okay. So, kind of going off what kind of Casey said about, kind of being babied, it was the opposite for me. My uncle, who I was like, just wanted to follow behind his footsteps, and he was, always, stern and tough love kind of guy. The only thing I kind of wish she did was just kind of show a little more like attention and compassion to me, or not compassion, but just a little more, I guess,
Sympathy,
yeah, that kind of thing. That would help me out a lot, a few years ago and whatnot. But again, it's made me who I am today. And, I look at it now, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I went through that to, I guess, find myself. So
yeah,
in a way, it was kind of shitty, like growing up, that way. But now it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it. Guys, I'm going to acknowledge it's tough to say something constructively critical about your mother. I get it. It's a rough road to go down, but I'm just curious if any of you can pinpoint the moment. So Jester, spotlight's on you. Biggest fuck up your mom ever did, or what you would change if you had to change one thing.
She gave birth to Jester. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up. Biggest fuck up she ever did was say, you have a car now, you can drive yourself to practice. Because I'll tell you what that did. That gave me...
For the listeners, Jester was a practicing Olympic archer.
Right, I was an aspiring...
He just fucked that away.
Underwater basket weaving.
Archer. For those that don't know what an archer is, it's Robin Hood. For those that don't know Robin Hood, it's a bow and arrow. Okay, anyways.
Look at me, bro. I'm a fucking sportscaster. Get out of here.
So anyway, so she let me drive.
She's like, no, not Robin Hood. Merida. Brave.
Yeah.
So Frozen, Elsa and Frozen, what the thing that she shoots, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, just keep explaining the archery, goddammit. Keep moving on.
So I was driving myself to practice. And then I wasn't driving myself to practice. I was driving myself over to Tiffany's house. I was driving myself over to Jennifer's house.
You had breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yeah, I did have breakfast.
God damn it, Jester's mom. You could have been great.
Right?
And I started to,
She robbed the world of a great archer.
Robin Hood the world.
You know what I'm saying?
That was legit a good one, Casey.
Seriously, like, you know, in archery we have this term. It's called top shot. You know what I mean? So like,
sounds sexual.
I went from top shots to pop shots. You know, I mean, that's what happens when you let your kid go off and do their own thing. They're going to defy you. They're going to, you know, if they can get away with it with an ounce, they're going to take a fucking pound of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did.
You stop shooting arrows, you're shooting loads.
I will.
So while we're on this topic of tough questions, I got another tough one.
Oh jeez.
So let me. I'm sorry, I always do this. I forget to answer. Biggest fuck up my mom ever did. I wish she would have paid a little bit more attention about the volatile relationship my dad and I had. It's my biggest fuck up. So speaking of dads, it's the next question. When you get into the mom-dad dynamic, do you, when you look at it, and your mom-dad relationship, or whatever the current algorithm of that is, whatever your modern family situation is, would you, grossness aside, would you marry your mom as a partner, or were there things that she did wrong that you now look to not make sure that your current spouse doesn't do those things? Does that question make sense?
Yeah.
There's a saying that every man grows up to marry his own mother.
And every woman grows up to marry her father. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just curious, did your mother set an example of the woman you want to marry?
Absolutely not. I'm on the complete opposite spectrum. I don't want to date anyone like my mother because my mother is a bit of a nag. She's an anal perfectionist. Like,
ooh, why wouldn't you want some anal, dude?
Anal perfectionist. You might want to reword that statement.
No. I should have said anal.
You put your foot in that own bear trap, bro.
Anal in the sense of, you know, everything's got to be, she's nitpicking at everything. Like, and then she's just a perfectionist where, like, nothing can go wrong or else the entire ship sinks. Oh. And it's just like, you know what? I don't want a woman like that. I want a more easygoing, laid-back, submissive, not necessarily, like, be my slave in bed.
Submissive in the biblical sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a man. What the man got to do with me?
I may try to hit it. No. But really, it's definitely not something that I would want to do is marry a woman like my mother. I'll say that straight up.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there's always, and first of all, let me say, I do love all those girls with daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? On my Tinder, I say, I want a girl who looks like she works at Hot Topic and has daddy issues. Yeah. But
all porn stars and strippers, thank you, terrible fathers.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Nobody talks about mommy issues. You know what I'm saying?
No,
they all talk about the daddy issues.
But that's because girls don't have mommy issues. Guys have mommy issues.
No.
No, girls do too. Those dykes and spikes, dude, they got them.
No. I will say something real quick. Girls do have mommy issues when mommy's bringing home dudes, you know, every different night and stuff like that.
It depends on the situation. But no, I think everybody has certain parental issues. But at the end of the day, I just, I mean, like,
what were your parental issues?
My mom, well, yeah, they don't really have, I mean, a whole lot that I know of, but like, my mom is amazing, but I don't look to people. I think my mom, I mean, this is kind of ridiculous to say, but I don't really think there's anybody else like my mom. Like, I really don't. I've met a lot of people. So it's like, for me to like be attracted to something, it's just like my mom's like a unicorn, you know? She's so nice and so genuine. I don't think there really is like her. So it's like, I don't look towards that. Plus, my mom's super skinny. I fucking go for the fatties. You know what I mean? Like the blowjobs are fucking phenomenal. And then
way to just throw that all in one sentence.
Oh yeah, dude. Pancake titties flapping up and down. They make you pancakes in the morning.
Fact that Casey's mom doesn't listen to the show.
No, hey man, my mom's a big fan. Number one, Infamous Chronicles. What up, kid?
She's a disgusting depression fan. She's not.
I DD baby. You know what I'm saying? Get that D squared, kid. You know what I'm talking about? Hey yo, hot sauce on my burrito, baby. Over to you, G. What up?
All right, so Gino, what about you? What? All love and respect out to all the moms out there, but where does your aunt drop the ball? You know, most noticeably as far as what you're looking for in a spouse.
I don't. You know, she's anything. Damn.
Yeah, let the dog talk.
Fucking dog.
Hey, take it easy, okay?
Sorry about the bitch.
Let's see. Where she drops the ball is she needs my uncle. I think, and yeah, I want a girl who can just be on her own. You know, doesn't need me to be there. Can support herself.
Absolutely.
But when I am there, or my uncle's there, she is on it. Like whatever he needs, he's got it. You know, on a dime. So
nice. I like that. That's good.
What about you, Infamous? What about you?
For me, I said it already, but just for me, like, I feel like the relationship my mom has with my brother is very different than the relationship she has with me. And that obviously started when he was young. And then, I wish she would have handled the situation with my dad a little bit differently. But now they're both fantastic. They're both amazing grandparents. And one thing I will say this, has nothing to do with being a mom, but I think Jester can testify this. One thing that you learn as a dad, growing up, you look at your dad. Your dad was the tough one. For most people, your dad was kind of the tough ass. Yep. He was the one that was the enforcer, the disciplinarian. You're sort of like, unfortunately, by default, he was the asshole. And, so I'm looking at the situation and I see that, like, I was a lot to fucking handle growing up and I was out of line a lot. So I'm not excusing some of the things that happened, but I can definitely appreciate how hard it must have been for my parents to maintain a level of patience, a level of discipline, to not just lose their fucking shit on me.
Which is something these new age parents are not doing, which is why we have these millennial fucks. No offense to your generation.
I fucking hate my generation.
Which they run around here like they own the fucking joint because their parents didn't spank that ass.
And but when you listen
step out of line.
But when you listen to guys like Gino, it's extremely refreshing because you're like, oh, there's a hope. There's a chance.
Well, here's the thing. My aunt and uncle, they're a lot younger. So my mom is like 40-something years old. My aunt's only, 30, I don't know, high 30s. She's not
Jesus.
old. Anyways, so...
Gino's like, he's your guy.
Yeah, you did say that she's only 2 years older. Was she single, bro?
What?
Is your aunt single? Let me get that.
He talked about the uncle already.
So listen. She has 4 kids of her own now. And I'm watching...
Plus your 3, so you and your 2 siblings.
Well, we're grown up and out of here.
Okay.
So I'm watching her, like, raise, them. And the oldest is 11. And the shit they get away with right now amazes me of what the fuck I had to go through. And fucking... I was like... Every day, I'm like, really? I would have got grounded for a week for that. And you just, like, looked at him weird.
So true.
I was like, no. So
that's a great point. That leads me to my final question of the night. What one rule that your mother had most fucking fucked with your high school days?
Oh, fuck yeah.
One single rule that had the most impact on you from 9th to 12th grade. What is it?
No girls in the house if I'm not there.
Damn, that sucks.
Jester, Casey?
My mom and dad were really good on pretty much everything, but one thing they kind of said was like no, and I it's not even the worst thing now look back, but at the time I wasn't able to drink or do any types of drugs, and even though like maybe they did, I don't know, it was one of those things where it's just like a pact between us to like, if I did, let them know, and obviously, well, it was one of those things where it's like they were like, well, we're gonna pay for your college, we're gonna do this, but you have to just be honest with us, but we would prefer you not to drink. So it's like I was the designated driver in school. I was always that guy that helped people out. And that actually helped me in life because it's like, I know to not drink and drive. It's like, it's weird because you think it's common sense, but we grew up in a time before the social media thing where it's like, it was a little easier to do and the parties were big, and it's like, but it also shaped me into the right man, I think, or into a good man, because it's like when I was sober, and I'm sober now, but like when I wasn't drinking at all or doing anything like that, I was not that guy that was taking advantage of girls that were drunk or anything like that. I was just driving people to and from their house, making sure that my friends were good, got Del Taco, all that stuff. I could leave the house at any time and come and grab them. So that really helped me out. But at the time, I was like, fuck, man, all my friends are getting drunk. And it's not that they all turned out like losers. I mean, I guess some did, but just like anything else, a lot of them turned out great also. So it's like, but at the time, like when you're 9th grade to 12th grade and all your friends are getting fucked up and all this stuff, and you're just like, man, I wish I was like that. But I stopped hanging out with friends that were doing that. So I wasn't going to be influenced, and then hung out with people that were like Mormon kids and all that stuff. And that helped me. It really did help me.
Yeah. Gino, what about you?
Kind of the same thing with Casey. Like I didn't party or anything like that. I wanted to, but I knew if I did, I'd, get the whip and hammer and all that.
Yeah. But, it's not worth it at the end of the day.
The biggest thing that she and really my uncle fucked up my high school was no matter, I think until my senior year when I actually turned 18, I had to be home by fucking 9.
Oh,
weekends,
curfew.
weekdays, doesn't matter what the fuck is going on, home by 9. I was like, 16 and a half, or, 16, all my friends were driving. My friends were, a year and a half older, 2 years older than me. They're all driving out till like midnight, going places. I'm like, I want to go. No, I gotta be home by 9. Okay, we're at the beach. Hey, someone's gotta bring me home at 9. It was fucking bullshit.
Like, can you suck me off now before I gotta go home?
But in hindsight, do you see it as a good rule? Or,
Yeah,
or at least you see the
because
value
you know what?
in it.
I do value it because, my actual parents were fuck ups and my mom, her sister was, out doing stupid ass shit all the time. So I could see why and all that shit. So I have no reason to hate now.
Curfews worked in my favor because girls used to be like, fuck, man, it's like 8 o'clock and I have to be home by 9. Let's get something going now.
Yeah.
So it helped expedite the process.
Tell your dad I said thanks.
Yeah.
Have a good night. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight on the Infamous Chronicles. From everyone on the show, not just the 4 people you listen to, there's a lot of people involved in all Infamous Work projects. We just want to say we would not be us without you, mom, aunt, mother-in-law, stepmother, whatever it is.
Figure.
We're in a weird modern family lifestyle these days, but it doesn't make anything you do any more or less valuable. So we all want to just say thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And thank you for MILF porn.
So there's that. We are inching in our 100th episode. We have an update coming soon on that. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RealTIC Podcast. Make sure you check out our newest show. If you're into this Mother's Day stuff, it's called Maternal Instincts. It's a podcast for imperfect moms by imperfect moms. They can be followed on Maternal Pod on either Instagram or Twitter. And then, of course, buy your bouquets and buy your books. Guys, seriously, we fuck up on the daily, on the regular. We fuck up with our chicks, with our moms, with our aunts, with our friends all the time. Or they get promotions, or they need flowers, or it's an anniversary, whatever the fuck it is. We've got you hooked up. Go to bouquetinabox.com. Use our coupon code INFAMOUS. You're going to save 15% on making whatever boo-boo you made all better. All right? So when you get that BJ off the flowers, make sure you send Jester a thank you note. All him.
Word.
If you guys got any questions on the show, feel free to contact us, 8444-INFAMOUS. Follow all of our other projects. If it's depression related, discussing depression, nerd stuff, Taco Truck of Destiny. Her Chronicles is all the female side of the Infamous Chronicles. And then, of course, we have Maternal Instincts, which is all mom related stuff. We are Infamous Works. This is the Infamous Chronicles. Thank you for listening. Have a great night.
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Infamous Chronicles. Our show is produced by Jeremy Elder, talent acquisition is done by Casey Moran, and operations directed by Paul Sinacori. This show is copywritten Infamous Works, LLC, 2016. All rights are reserved. All of our guests appear signed via waivers. We don't own the rights to any of the music featured on our show. We are just fans of it. Visit us at infamousworks.com or call our offices at 844-4INFAMOUS.